Welcome to Fly on the Wall. We are your hosts. I am Dr. Jonathan Lassiter.
And I am Marquita Moten.
So, who the hell are we?
I am a master's level therapist with a degree in clinical mental health. I am a business owner, and I am tired of people bringing me the news when I intentionally avoid it.
Yes, I'm also on that team. No, I am a licensed clinical psychologist, an author, a professor, and someone that is just, when I've done all I can do is stand. That's what
Okay.
I say is I'm just standing today, as my mama would say, hanging on to the word of God, trying to keep my peace because I'm feeling it today. Which
Yes.
brings us to our topic is faith. Because a lot of times when people hear faith, they immediately think religion, Christianity, and how it's been used in a negative way, in a sense that, to deprive people of things and to tell them, but still have faith, or to justify the harmful things that happen to people. Well, you don't have enough faith, or things like
Mm-hmm.
that. But for me, when I talk about faith, what I'm talking about is literally my faith is in a way transcendence, and I don't think I've ever articulated it that way until this very moment. But let me explain what I mean. What I mean is that having faith into something that's not seen is a way for me to transcend the current moment that I'm in, that may be uncomfortable, unpleasant, into a moment of possibility, into a
You better come on with this word.
I'm just saying,
Okay.
a possibility into a moment of future growth. And for
Yes.
me, that's what faith is. And it does not mean necessarily that anything has changed about the current moment besides that shift in my perspective. But what it does mean is that it gives the current moment, at least for me, a purpose. So even in the unpleasantness, even in the pain, even in the confusion, even in the sadness and the fear of the present moment, and I'm feeling all of those things these days, of that present moment, even in the midst of all that, faith allows me to transcend for how many ever moments, because don't get it twisted. I come back to those emotions. I'm only human. But faith allows me to transcend those for how many ever moments into a possibility of a better future where growth has happened, where there's more alignment with the divine in that present moment. It allows me to transcend. And then it helps me get through that current moment. And so I think apparently I just needed to say that for me. But
And me. Yes.
but I wanted to talk about faith today because of the things I'm going through, but also I know, as you said, like, not just for me, not just for you, but I know that other people are asking questions of faith, or need to find faith, or trying to enact faith, and maybe having difficulty. And so I just wanted to open it up, and I'm going to stop talking, and let's hear some of your wisdom.
No, I mean, let spirit use you, honey. If you got more to say, come with it. I love that. I love that. I don't think that I've ever framed faith as a tool of transcendence either. But I love that. And I'm going to hold on to that. Especially today, just like feeling the weight of what other people are engaging in, because, like we said, we're not ones to engage in the news, and that is intentional. I am protecting my peace by disengaging from certain information. But people bring you unsolicited information sometimes. You just have to manage it. And also, it looks like it's gonna rain, which I love the rain. And I think what I'll do is use that energy to channel some cleansing of some feelings that I've been carrying. But anyway, just the heaviness of the social environment right now is a lot. And plus, we each have our own stuff, that we're managing. But as far as faith is concerned, um, I perceive faith for myself as surrender. And it's like a twofold thing. It's one, knowing that whatever I need, whatever I desire, whatever I've envisioned, or whatever vision that the creator has given to me, knowing that it's already done, and then surrendering all the stuff that I may have attached to it. So surrendering my feelings, surrendering any worry, surrendering doubt. Doubt is a big one for me. Surrendering all of that to the knowing that it's already done, and that it's already done in greatness,
Yeah.
because that is the only way that spirit operates. And so for me, it's about surrender. I like the concept of transcendence because it is important in raising your vibration, right? We talked before about being aware of your frequency or whatever energy you're emitting at the time. And I think that using faith in a way that's transcendent will also go ahead and raise your vibration for you, which automatically puts you in the mode, or in a more open mode of receiving, of allowing all that is good to flow to you. So I really, really like that. And using faith in therapy, um, I'm curious how you handle situations of faith in therapy, because people, like you said before, they're not necessarily coming to therapy and thinking of their progress towards healing as an act of faith or a process of faith. But how do you use that in therapy? How do you express it to them as an act of faith? What do you do?
Yeah, no, I smiled because that was exactly what I was about to ask you. So
Well, I beat you to it.
we are aligned as usual. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Um, yeah, no, this is fresh on my mind because I have a client in particular I'm thinking about, where we've kind of looked at the origin story of the trauma, if you will. We started to build some tools about how to start to do something different, because I often frame change as a process of micro decisions. Change is about first
Mhm.
becoming aware of the internal dialogue, the internal sensations that are associated with the trauma, and then making micro decisions in those moments of awareness to do something different. But what that requires, though, is faith that, one, you can do something different, and two, there will be progress. There will be growth that comes from doing something different. Because if you don't have that faith that you can heal, that healing is possible, then that's going to hinder those micro decisions. Or sometimes I use the language of experiments. I talk to my patients about think of it as making of doing tiny experiments. There's no guarantee they're going to work, but we're experimenting, and if they don't work, then we make another decision. But I have one patient in particular that is so focused on, I just want to be better. I'm so tired of this. I've been working on this my whole life. I haven't got better. Um, and I'm like, yes, but we can't, there is no hope of getting better if we can't have the faith to do the work.
Mm.
And so I had a conversation with him about what is faith. And he was like, well, that I immediately saw, before he even started talking, I saw it in his body, like he was triggered, right? Because he has very Christian, comes from a very Christian background. and was like, that's what they taught me in church, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, okay, well, first off, I just want to be clear. I'm not proselytizing to you. Uh,
Okay.
I am not. I'm not trying to convert you or anything like that. I was like, but let's explore what is faith. So you have one definition of faith that comes from your Christian upbringing. What else do you think about when you think of faith? And so then, as we continue to talk, he said, well, one of it, he said, well, trust. And I said, you're right. That's what you're lacking for yourself. That's what
Mm.
you're lacking right now. You don't trust your ability to do this. You don't trust the process. So how might we build that trust? So that's how faith comes into play in the work with my clients slash patients. I go back and forth between those two terms, but because I don't think that we can do the work without faith. Faith is required in the process, and I think on both parties, on my behalf as a therapist, but definitely on the client's part.
Yeah, I agree with that because if you don't have faith in some potential outcome,
Mhm,
regardless of what that potential outcome is,
mhm,
then what are you working towards? So it is absolutely a component that has to be worked on both sides, like you said, as the practitioner and as the client. We both have to have faith. The same thing with my energy work. It's like, well, I go into it after doing a series of rituals that get me in the right state of being to one, receive and then channel spirit so that I am not influencing the session in a way that is me. You
mhm,
know what I'm saying? So there's that piece, but also I have to know absolutely that the work that I'm doing is for the improved health and state of being of the person I'm working with, and have faith in myself to act as an instrument of change on behalf of that individual. And so that requires faith. And then they have to trust the process. They have to trust that one, I know something about what I'm doing.
mhm.
And they have to trust that they're going to feel differently when they leave. And yeah, it's all important. It's all based on faith. This whole field,
Mhm.
psychology is really a faith-based practice because you are leaving the results up to someone else's free will, right? But for them to believe that they can have better, that they can be better, that they can do better, that is the faith of the process.
Yeah.
So I like that.
Well, I we usually do a candy fire or a black market, but I don't have anything today.
I have a book.
You have a book? What do you want to share with the people?
So this book is really a tool, and we have been doing spiritual, emotive work
Mhm,
for a very long time.
mhm,
So there's a lot of stuff in this book that I'm already familiar with. So I just like skip through most of it.
mhm,
But I think it's a good tool for people who are making the connection between their physical wellness and their emotional
mhm.
well-being. And so this book is called The Emotion Code.
Ooh, okay. Hold it up a little bit closer to the camera because there's a shadow. Okay. Oh, okay. The Emotion Code by Dr. Bradley Nelson. There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
So tell us about it.
So the great thing about this book is um, it's about gaining access to and releasing trapped emotions.
Mhm,
So we know that we have certain things in our lives. We may call those things trauma, like you were saying with the client. And in addition to having a cognitive awareness of it, your body has an awareness, your cells have memory. And so, cellular memory of traumatic events can cause physical ailments or what we call dis-ease. in the body. And sometimes you don't know how to get it out. You may think that it requires Percocet for your back to stop hurting, but it may actually be, digging up that your daddy told you wasn't gonna be shit when you grew up or whatever. It
Well,
could be that.
yes.
So basically, this book, it does have a lot of different anecdotes just to demonstrate how quickly things can change when you do release those stuck emotions. But it also has a variety of tools that people can use to introduce themselves to having access to those trapped emotions, having awareness that they are, and awareness of where they are in the body. And then it has tools that you can use to help release it. So it does talk about muscle testing and the sway test and all kind of stuff like that. And it also has a couple of other tools to help you release those emotions so that you not only feel better, but you have more openness to the good and the abundance that life really is about and that source really has to offer. So that's what this book is about. So you can feel better and be happier and love more and all this other good stuff.
I love it. I do not have that book, and I'm going to get it because, I mean, like you said, we already use a lot of emotion focused work in our practices, respectively. And so, but I'm sure it has even more tools that I can share with my clients. But when I heard you talk about where it lives in the body, I do that a lot with clients. So even more ways to help them with that will be beneficial for my practice and for them. So definitely going to check that out. So are we ready for our replay?
All right.
So what are the takeaways we have for the people today?
Definitely perceiving faith as a tool of transcendence to basically get your mind and your emotional state out of the moment while you in the moment so you can get through the moment. Okay. That's a t-shirt right there.
Say that one.
So using faith in that way, and also recognizing faith as an act of surrender and trust simultaneously. Trusting that whatever you desire is already done and trusting the process of getting there. And I really, 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 really like how you frame with clients the idea of making micro decisions, because I think when it comes to psychological health, emotional health, spiritual health, people feel overwhelmed. Especially when you start doing the work, it's like you dig up more stuff and you be like, look, now I thought I was gonna be fine after this. And now I've been digging and healing, and now I done found 3, 4, 5, 6 other things that I need to heal.
Right.
And that is the process, such as life. We're still here, and that means there's work to be done. That's the bottom line. And so framing it as a series of micro decisions, I think makes it more digestible for people. So I really like that. And as always, emphasizing self-compassion in this process. While you're making these micro decisions, if they don't turn out the way that you anticipate, don't judge yourself for that. Just say, okay, well, now there's another micro decision I can make. It's just choice. It's just choice.
Exactly. No, it's so true about the self-compassion piece too, because I recently told a client this week, it's like, he was like, well, but I feel like I'm probably going to do that again. I was like, I know you're going to do that again. I was like, because that's what you've been socialized into. That's your that's your go-to way of being. So you are going to do that again. However, this time, let's recognize it. And then hopefully we get to making another decision. But you are going to do it again. And that's fine. So no, that's true. That self-compassion is so essential in that process as we're making those micro decisions. Well, As always, we could go on and on and on, but this has been great, and this has been great for me personally.
Me too.
So
I mean, I'll probably still get like a cupcake or something because my morning was stressful and like I earned it. But
self compassion.
but
Self
yes, I
soothe.
definitely feel like I have um more, I don't want to say considerations because I'm not going to contemplate it, but just let it resonate within me
Yeah.
because I do feel the energy of everything we discussed today, and just allowing that resonance to flow through me is my plan for the remainder of the day.
And me too. I've been, as I say sometimes, in my praise and worship mode. And I've been listening to Shifting the Atmosphere. And so
Oh
I'm going
yes,
to allow it to continue to shift my atmosphere, reshift my
absolutely.
molecules, so I can get to that next moment of growth and of health. So love you, Keita.
Love you too.
Be sure to like and subscribe to the show, comment, let us know what you think as always. And this is the season finale. So this is episode 10 of season 2. We've done 20 episodes. So this is
Wow.
great, right? And so stay tuned for season 3. And yeah, love you.
Love you too.
Bye.
Bye.